Are the Christmas offerings at Walt Disney World worth traveling there at the busiest time of the year?
It is the most wonderful time of the year at the most magical place on earth. Don't you think so? Yeah, Lucas is a bit of a Grinch when it comes to Christmas, but it is my favorite time of year to visit the Walt Disney World resorts. There is just so much that they do to celebrate this festive season, and we are going to talk about it all.
And if you stay to the end, we're also going to talk about the parties that they put on. Now, these parties are, of course, an upsell, but is it worth the upsell, and what party should you attend?
Yeah, now Christmas, it does start at Disney World in early November and it goes through January. So that Christmas season is quite long. You have a whole bunch of time to go visit, and you can find maybe a time of year or within those 2 months it's a bit less on the crowd calendars, but it is so special. So should we start with...
Let's go to Magic Kingdom. I mean, Magic Kingdom is the spot. Disney World, Christmas. When you think of it all, you think Magic Kingdom.
Yes, especially if, like us in Canada, you want to keep that Disney alive, you watch that Disney Christmas Day Parade.
Yeah.
Then you're watching it from Magic Kingdom. And that castle decorated is so beautiful. Now, this year, they are doing a castle projection show instead of the Dreamlights, which is a bit sad. Those Dreamlights were beautiful, but the projection show on the castle is pretty spectacular too. And so you're not being cheated. Just try and find a spot, and they'll kind of run it periodically throughout the night in addition to the fireworks show. So it's a great opportunity to just kind of stop and enjoy something that's festive.
Another offering that Magic Kingdom offers is Jingle Cruise.
Yes.
And of course, this is a special edition Jungle Cruise that has a ton of jokes that are Christmas related, and every boat has got some lights on them.
It does. Now, do you like the regular Jungle Cruise better or the Jingle Cruise?
I like regular Jungle Cruise better. But I'm not the Christmas guy. I mean, that's just the deal.
True. But that is something that you maybe need to take into account. There are a few rides that have a Christmas overlay, but on top of that, there is Christmas music throughout the parks. And so if you kind of want that classic Disney feel, maybe this isn't the time of year that you want to go to them. The other place that has an overlay that's really fun is the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Now, Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor is this interactive show, kind of like Turtle Talk with Crush, where the monsters are speaking to you and you're speaking back. And it's really, really cute.
If you're an introvert though, you're scared to death the whole time because you're hoping they don't point you out or pick you out in the crowd.
You're never gonna see the people in Disney World again. Just go for it. Just leave your introvertedness to the floor. And the other one that is overlaid is the Tomorrowland Speedway. And this is great because the Tomorrowland Speedway on its own, those little cars that you drive at like 2 miles per hour.
Can we all just agree that that's a whole lot of land for like a really crappy ride that should be changed into something completely different?
It should.
Can we just agree on that? Is that okay? Like,
yes.
Am I breaking any like Disney rules by saying that?
I think we've broken a lot of Disney rules on our hot takes of which rides need to be refurbed already, so it's okay. But Tomorrowland Speedway at Christmas at night is actually pretty special.
It's even more special if you get a car that works.
True. True. And then the last thing, and you'll see it throughout a bunch of places, is that it snopes. It is Disney's version of snow, and it is just, it's really special and magical when it comes. I might tear up a little bit when I see it.
So let's jump to monorail. Let's head over to EPCOT. Let's talk about the Festival of the Holidays. What is that all about?
It is just so special and so fun. Now, EPCOT, obviously, like everyone else, decorates for Christmas. The decorations are kind of unique because they're themed a little bit more towards each land that they're at. But the Festival of the Holidays is not just Christmas. It celebrates each country and how they celebrate this kind of festive season. So it might be more of a Chinese New Year theme in China, and going through all of those things. And so we really enjoyed walking through and learning about the different traditions and festivals and holidays that each of these different countries celebrate. Now, the best way to do the festival, the holidays, or any festival is to make sure that you pick up one of these festival booklets at the start of your park day. And it has all of the different menus and different things that you can do in each of them. But unique to the Festival of the Holidays is the holiday cookie stroll. I mean, who needs a reason to just walk around and eat cookies? But if you do, you have to complete this, right? I mean, you should. You will get a special prize if you do get all of those cookies.
And also throughout the parks, the pavilions, you're gonna find different kinds of snacks as well that are just gonna come out of the Christmas season, represented by the different countries represented there. So it's a great time of food and novelty.
Yeah, and it's a great time to hear from these different holiday storytellers that are all around those different countries, kind of, again, sharing what they do, how they celebrate the season. So make sure, again, that you get this festival guide. It will have all of the times under each country's heading so that you don't miss them, because it's really fun to learn about these different countries.
Now, probably the #1 most famous show when it comes to Disney World and Christmas is the Candlelight Processional at EPCOT. So what is the Candlelight Processional? What can we expect with that? And why is it so famous around the world?
Yeah, so Candlelight Processional is going to be very classic, traditional Christian Christmas story. So it is telling the nativity story. It is going to be kind of those classic religious Christmas hymns. And then they have these celebrity narrators who come and they tell their own family stories and their own kind of experiences of Christmas. And there are people who make a point of going every year. It is very classic Christmas. And so make sure that if you want to go, and it's like a must-do, that you look at booking a dining package where your seats are guaranteed, or kind of plan that that's what you're gonna do that day, is you're just gonna stake out a spot for the standing room for that show so that you can be in the pavilion.
Now, one of the best overlays in terms of Christmas at EPCOT is Living with the Land, Merry and Bright Nights. First of all, I love that ride in the first place.
Yes.
That is it is like what It's a Small World should be. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm just gonna keep coming at A Small World until they change it. This is my form of protest.
It is a kind of classic boat ride, but it's very different than Small World.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, and it is edutainment, which was kind of something that Walt Disney loved, where it's educational but also entertaining. And they add all these different lights and just kind of festive booths within the land to showcase how maybe that vegetable plays into a Christmas dinner or something along those lines. So it's really kind of a fun way to celebrate.
All right, let's jump onto the Skyliner. Let's head over to Hollywood Studios and let's talk about, okay, hold on everyone. We were just talking about how Disney loves their ridiculous names. Let's talk about the Sunset Seasons Greetings Projections Show.
Yes. Now this is also going to be a laser projection show on the Tower of Terror. So it is, again, just kind of one of those fun diversions. You're not going to spend a lot of time, but it is a show that's running periodically through the night. And again, it is going to Snope right there. And that is, it really is just kind of a special moment.
Well, just that Instagram's going to look so good.
It certainly will. Now, all of Hollywood Studios is kind of decorated in these kitschy, garland Santa, like 1950s kind of style ornaments, kind of very retro. And so it is a really fun park to visit and just walk around at Christmas time because it's so so very different than the others.
Now, if you are into characters, if you're into character dining, they do have Minnie's Holiday Dine at Hollywood Studios. Now, I'll let you speak to this because I hate spending money on these things. I hate it so much. I always have and I always will. So I'll let you give the magic.
Sure.
I'm gonna be a bit of a Grinch right now.
Well, the Holiday Dine is in the Hollywood and Vine location. That is already a character meal, but at the Christmas season, you can see them in special outfits. And it's just kind of one of those things. I know it's a steep price tag, but if you think about it as like kind of the equivalent of buying an individual lightning lane, so instead of standing in line to meet the characters, you are purchasing something where you're kind of fast tracking your access to them with food attached. I don't know, that might be something that you go, you know what, that is a 2-in-1. We hit 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm good with it.
That's Disney math to the max right there.
I'm really good at Disney math. Well, our last park to go to is Animal Kingdom, and it is my favorite park for the holiday decorations. They are just so beautiful. They have different wooden carvings of different animals all over the tree. It is absolutely stunning. So you are not going to want to miss the Oasis for those decorations.
So one of the big shows at Animal Kingdom is at their central point at the Tree of Life, and that is the Tree of Life Holiday Awakenings. And this is a projections show. And so this, I'm assuming this kind of goes a couple times during the day.
It does, yeah. Very similar to the Sunset Greetings or to the projection on the Cinderella Castle in Magic Kingdom. It's kind of, yeah, it's Animal Kingdom's version of that show. And a lot of the kind of decor is centralized in that area, the Oasis and Discovery Island. You also have the Merry Menagerie, which are these really cute puppets that come out. There's like a seal and a polar bear and a penguin. They're just adorable and they interact with guests. And so a lot of your kind of Christmas festivities are going to be in that first area as you're walking up to the Tree of Life. So don't miss it. Plan to spend a little bit of extra time there.
Okay, so I saw something in our notes speaking to the festive flotillas. Flotillas. What in the world is that?
How do you say that word? So it is just these kind of barges that have different characters on them that go throughout the year. But at Christmas, there is a special man in red who likes to come out and wave at everybody. So make sure that you keep an eye out for Santa. Of course, Santa loves the most magical place on earth, just like anybody else. Now there's one other place that you can see Santa when he's not on his flotilla, of course, and that is at Disney Springs. There is a special place where you can meet Santa in Once Upon a Toy at Disney Springs. Now make sure that when you get to Disney Springs, you use the QR code, they're plastered all around, to kind of reserve your spot in line. You can't just walk up and see him. You do need to enter that virtual queue. So make sure that you do that so you don't have disappointed little ones on your hands.
Is that an added cost? Do you have to pay to do that?
No, it's all included. So go do that. Also included is the Christmas tree stroll scavenger hunt.
I feel like we must have been there early or something because there's a few trees that we just couldn't find them. But it was kind of fun because now you're looking for something, you got the kids involved looking for something as you're walking around Disney Springs. It was a good time.
Yeah, so they used to have the Christmas tree stroll kind of stuck in one little corner of Disney Springs, and it was so congested. And now they've taken them and put them all over. It is so much better, and it adds so much to the atmosphere there. And you can ask for these maps again, there's signs everywhere for where to ask for them. But then when you bring them and you turn them in, you get a button.
We all love our pins at Disney.
We do love our pins at Disney. So it is kind of a fun way if you want to walk around and shop to keep your kids interested in being there, is to just keep going through this little scavenger hunt with them. And of course, at Disney Springs, there's always specialty food specialty, just different options of entertainment, all of those things. So keep an eye out for them at Christmas.
Okay, so now we have to talk resort hotels because they do pretty big overhauls at the resorts to make it very festive. One of the big things, upon the recording of this video a few weeks ago, we watched the gingerbread house being built at the Grand Floridian, which is a really cool process to watch.
It is. Now, those gingerbread displays are going to be at your deluxe resorts only. They have the gingerbread houses. There's a gingerbread carousel. Again, these are resorts that are open to anybody to go in and enjoy.
Yeah, go check it out.
So yeah, this is a great time. Christmas is a great time to go resort hop those lobbies and see what the pastry team at the Disney resorts has come up with, because it's
really
truly
cool.
Spectacular. But the other thing you're going to want to watch for is the Christmas tree in each of the lobbies. Now, just like the parks, every Christmas tree and all the Christmas decorations are very different, very themed to that park. The resort trees are also completely one of a kind. And so that can be really fun and interesting to walk through the different resorts and see how that tree was decorated.
Well, before we jump into the parties, would you consider liking and subscribing so we can continue to kind of bring you great Disney content, because we're having fun on this journey and we hope that you're having fun with us too. But let's talk parties. This is where I kind of glaze over and check out a little bit. Again, thus the cup today. This is where spending money on these parties, for me, I just don't see the added value. But Lisa loves Disney and she loves Christmas, and so I go along to get along. Tell us about the parties at each of these parks.
Sure. So there are two main parties. There's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jinglewood Nights. Now, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is going to be kind of your longest ticketed event. You can get into the parks at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and your party itself is going to run from 7 to 12. So they're going to clear out the guests before 7, and only those people who have bought the party ticket are going to be there. So you're going to get some very low lines for your attractions, as well as some special offerings. There is the cookies and cocoa or eggnog or apple cider, depending on the booth that you go to, that is included in your park ticket. There's a special fireworks show, a special parade, as well as some different dance parties, and some rare characters that make an appearance at these parties, like the Seven Dwarfs, which, I mean, who doesn't want to meet all 7 dwarfs? Lucas says no. I say, of course we do.
Now keep in mind that these cookies and being forced to stay up till midnight is going to cost you $169 to $199 per adult.
Yes, it is a bit of a steep price tag. Now, again, remember that you can get in at 4 o'clock, and so you do have an 8-hour kind of day. So if you want to use that instead of a park day, you could sleep in, have a quiet morning, and then use that instead of having a ticket for that day. I don't know. You tell us, is that worth it to you?
Are you Team Lisa or Team Lucas on this? Would love to know.
We'll have a poll. Now, the other party is Jollywood Nights. And now Jollywood Nights is going to be a little bit cheaper, but you have less included and less party time.
Now, when Jollywood Nights first came out, the first viewing of Jollywood Nights, the reviews were not good. Now, we understand that Disney has heard that feedback and they are kind of upping the game and upping the ante for those Jollywood Nights.
But it is still going to cost you $159 to $179 per person, and you can't get into the park until 7 o'clock. Now, your party is going to start at 8:30, so that's when you get exclusive access to all of the rides, and it's going to go to 12:30. But that is only 5.5 hours compared to the 8 hours of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
So if you're going to twist my arm to spend the added money, I'm definitely going to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Now, there again are some things that are part of Jollywood Nights, like you have different clubs that open, but these are all additional charged food offerings. There isn't anything like the cookie stroll that's included in that. Now they do have their own fireworks show. They did bring back Jingle Bell Jingle Bam just for Jollywood nights, and they do have kind of different characters similar to Very Merry Christmas Party that are popping up that are rare, and it is being sold as a bit more of a like
adult orientated.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and so you are gonna see people kind of dressed up and going for this that kind of feels more like a soiree at a park than a like family-friendly Christmas party. And so if that appeals to you, that might be the event that you want to go to.
Well guys, that's all we've got for you in terms of Christmas at Walt Disney World. We hope that this was helpful. And like always, we're Maple Mickey, putting the magic back into your Disney vacation. See you next time.